Hey everybody, it's On Screen Off Screen with Josh Conlon and myself, where we talk about things that we watch throughout the week and how they affect our lives and how our lives affect what we watch. Um, I am interested to see what Josh wants to talk about, one of his topics, because he also gifted this to me and I want to know what it's about.
Okay, so my first topic this week, or for this episode, is the Dark Pictures anthology House of Ashes. This is made by the same people who made Until Dawn and The Quarry. It was made before those games, but it's the same kind of make choices, affect outcomes, try and save people through scenario. And what's really, really cool about this game is you each control your own set of characters. And when they're not in the room together, I don't know what you're seeing. And what's really cool about this one, in House of Ashes, the plot line is CIA and Army are trying to find, they used imaging software to find that there's like this big underground something. And so they assume it's a nuclear silo, so they go down, they're trying to figure out the entrance to it and whatnot. And Iraq has fought back, but I don't know the backstory to the Iraqi character Salam in this story. I played it with Josh, one of my friends, and so he knew where this character was coming from. He knew his backstory. He knew whatever. And then it comes to a point where I'm pointing a gun at him, and all I know is that he's an Iraqi soldier who was shooting at me 20 minutes ago. And I have to decide whether or not to trust him or not, based solely on what the character does in that moment with what they say. And a little bit of Josh saying stuff like, oh man, I'm playing as Salam right now. So I got to know that he played as that character. But it gives you partial information. And because partial information, you have to make a decision as the character. Because my character didn't know anything. And I didn't know anything because I didn't see that section of story. And vice versa. I got to know certain things that he didn't get to know, and he had to make choices based on that information. I had an absolute great time with this game. I love the choices. My nitpicks of it are sometimes there's a little bit too much cutscene. A lot of times you're doing quick time events and you're trying to save characters. And in this one, it can go on for like 10 minutes where you're just watching stuff and nobody's making a choice. So I wish that there was a little bit more variation in outcomes and that kind of thing. But it was also super funny because Josh, the person I was playing with, gets a little bit more scared by things than me. I feel like most people do, because I don't. And he got all of the scariest parts. And I, pretty, like, unaffected by these kinds of things, just enjoying the story and that, and the other, got to just play the chillest parts. And, like, let me tell you, Ashley Tisdale is a character in this thing. I saw her fall. That's the last I saw her. Josh went off and did whatever. She shows up. She's covered in blood. And I was like, holy shit, Josh, what the happened to you? Like, he's like, you remember me screaming like 2 minutes ago? That happened. And I was like, oh, damn. Now I'm just sitting here like, oh, man. I really want to play it and see the other characters' points of view, and I really want to play these other games, especially cooperatively, because I feel like that's just the way these games are meant to be played. It's such a good time. The choices do matter. You get to kill characters you don't like. You get to kill characters you do like but are mad at. So, for example, there's a character, Nick, who is partners with Ashley Tisdale's character. But Ashley Tisdale's character was previously married to one of my characters. But all I knew is that my character was still in love with her. So I was like, hey, it's really good to see you. I haven't seen you in a really time, and like kind of flirting, like maybe we should save this marriage. And Josh chooses, I'm going to break up with you. So I was making, Josh, you broke up with me comments the entire time until I found out about this other character, Nick. And so when I got the chance to kill Nick, I absolutely killed Nick. I was like, I don't care that I like this character, and he's kind of a stud in a lot of ways. But he stole Ashley Tisdale from me, and that is absolutely unacceptable. So he is going to die. It was so much fun. I loved the conversations Josh and I got to have because of this game. I loved the way it played out. Conlon, if you have not played House of Ashes yet, it is your favorite. I guarantee it.
I haven't played it yet. It's on the list. I just haven't played it yet.
Have you played any of the Dark Pictures games?
I'm playing one with Sid right now. Let me look up Dark Pictures really quick. I've played Madam Median. I'm playing Little Hope. And those are the only two of the Dark Pictures that I've done so far.
Okay. House of Ashes will be your favorite. I guarantee it. Little Hope is kind of accepted as the best one. Your favorite is going to be House of Ashes.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
My only knock on it is because I feel like some of it is forced. And like they could have had choices there. But I'm sure it wouldn't be that high either if I knew both sides, if I was playing single player or right next to the person. But the way it's cut up to where we're together, then we're apart, then we're together, then we're apart, then we're together, then we're apart. We're having to make all these choices. Is such a cool way to tell this kind of story with multiple players. So I had a great time with it. I'm literally like antsy. I'm so excited to start the next one. For anybody who's interested, there is a Humble Bundle right now. You can get all 4 Dark Pictures games and both Little Nightmares games for $13.
Wow.
So jump on Humble Bundle right now and buy it, because I would pay $13 just for House of Ashes, but the Little Nightmares games are also really good, and I'm excited to keep playing this series. I hope they continue doing the cooperative story the way they told it this one, where you're each just controlling certain characters and off and on and off and on and whatever. And I bought the bundle but already owned 2 of the games, so I sent Lauren the other 2 games and the Little Nightmares games, and I hope that she will play House of Ashes with me, because it's just such a good time. I loved it. And I hope that she'll like it too. Conlon, what do you generally think of the Dark Pictures game so far?
So far, actually, that's not true. I think Little Hope is really good so far. Madam Median, I don't think was that great, and honestly, I would skip it.
Okay.
It was kind of boring.
Okay.
To be honest.
I'm excited. I hope that you play House of Ashes soon and we can talk more about it. I don't want to give the plot or what it's really about away too much, but I genuinely really had a great time with this game. And it looked great. My only criticism with like the graphics was Ashley Tisdale's face felt a little swollen to me. Okay. And that's probably just because she's so recognizable to me that I was like, that doesn't quite look like Ashley Tisdale. But all the other characters, I was like, yeah, they look great. I don't have any criticisms.
Maybe she just lost a tooth and her dentist ripped 2 of her teeth out of her.
Maybe. But like, I grew up watching Zack and Cody, so like, seeing her, I was like, that's close enough, but
not perfect.
Yeah, and that's probably just because I know her so well. But great game. Great time.
Sounds like this is your favorite of their games.
Yes,
just
this
in
is
general?
better than Until Dawn. To me, I
Wow.
love the cooperativeness. I'm a sucker for a good co-op game. This is a really great co-op game, and the way they told it was fantastic. I couldn't recommend it more to play where you can't see the other person's screen or hear what's going on. It's such a good way to play it.
Looked up a picture, and I don't think that it's her face is swollen. It's that they have the measurement of where her cheekbones are supposed to be too low.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I guess I won't say swollen. I'll say it was a little bit off. Like, you can tell it's Ashley Tisdale. Some scenes are better than other scenes. But, yeah, it was such a good time. That's what I have to say about it. It's great. Everybody should play it. It's fantastic.
I will play it. $13. Yeah.
Lauren, are you going to play it with me?
Yes. I was going to say what you doing tomorrow.
Sweet, let's do it.
Okay. All right. With that, it looks like Josh, Conlon, that you have two topics as well.
Yes.
I'm curious as to what your note means.
So Defiance of the Fall is a very, very famous lit RPG. It's Primal Hunter, He Who Fights with Monsters, Defiance of the Fall, Dungeon Crawler Carl. Those are kind of your big ones. And Primal Hunter, the author, admits that he was a fan of Defiance of the Fall. And he 100% copied some homework. Josh, does this sound familiar to you? The multiverse is integrated. There is a big event. In that event, our main character goes into the forest. Inside of the forest, he gets a really cool class. That class, he has to do some weird things to be able to progress that class, including beat a really big monster at the end of the integration phase so he can establish where he's going to go in the future.
Okay, in the defense of that, that is also the same as Completionist Chronicles.
Yeah, but it's more blatant when you read this one. Like, it's like...
Well, I'm just basing it on your description. Like, to me, that covers 50% of lit RPGs.
That's fair. That is fair. This one, man, I wish I could explain it more. The entire time I was listening to it, I was like, okay, who wrote the book first? Because somebody copied somebody. There is a copy here. And I like Primal Hunter better, but it's because I like the characters in Primal Hunter better. I think they're more fleshed out. They feel like more alive. Where in this one you have the main character, his name is Zach, and he is just a character that displays the story. When I was talking about Gregor and the Overlander, one of my problems that I had is I felt like Gregor was just kind of a character to fill in to be able to progress the plot forward versus somebody that I really knew anything about. And this one has that problem. Zach is just a character that is doing the things that the book needs him to do. But the way that his abilities progress is really interesting. He has an axe, so he basically becomes like a divine superpowered lumberjack, and it's kind of awesome. And he's in this forest, and he has to cut down trees. That's literally part of his quest, and it's very funny. And they do a good job of integrating and making the universe feel larger, because the event that's going on, what he has to go through, is when all of the multiverse is brought together, some races are given the opportunity to possibly claim Earth. And Zach is given the opportunity to try to shut that down. And it feels like it is challenging. It doesn't feel like it's an easy thing. It feels like Zach earns it. When he has his big final face down, it doesn't feel like anything is pulled out of his ass. I know Josh didn't really like the way Primal Hunter's integration phase ended because it didn't feel earned, is part of the way of saying it. This one felt more earned to me. There is some luck aspect to it, but there's nothing where the system feels like it's just saving our main character. The way that they develop traits is really interesting. The way they develop skills is really interesting. What I would say right now is He Who Fights Monsters has some very low lows. There are parts of it that are just a slog to get through, but it has the highest highs of this kind of book. Primal Hunter to me is kind of just like a roller coaster. Goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Where the negatives don't bug me, like I think they might have bugged Josh and got him off the book series a little bit. Defiance so far with the first 3 books is pretty even. So it doesn't have a lot of the high highs. It doesn't have a lot of the low lows. It's just an enjoyable series overall, but it is that kind of book. And if you're into that kind of a story, you might enjoy this one. It is very, very popular. And I would give the first 3 books like a 7.5. It's an enjoyable time. I had a good time with it.
Good. And you didn't know which one came first, Defiance or Primal Hunter, so you don't know who copied who.
Primal Hunter came after. The author admits that he likes the books because he's literally been accused of plagiarism. It is so similar. It is ridiculous how similar it is.
He's like, no, it's just a fanfic.
That's genuinely kind of how it feels. And Josh, in Primal Hunter, they have Jacob and Jake, right?
Yeah.
In this one, they have Zach and Zacharus.
Oh my gosh.
Why? It's not as big of a deal as it is in Primal Hunter, but it's still just a dumb decision.
Yeah. I agree. Let's go back to you, Josh, with Superstore.
Okay, Superstore is the best office imposter. I feel like it's how Conlon watches The Office, where very occasionally it makes you laugh, but the rest of the time you don't really care. And I do actually agree with that because the characters aren't fleshed out. They don't really work. Like, they have this character who's very clearly supposed to be the Jim. Somebody who's underachieving. Somebody who's very smart for what they do. And then they have very clearly their Pam character. Somebody who's underachieving but in a different way. And they're supposed to have this, like, chemistry with each other. But it doesn't really work. And they do what I hate in these stories. And instead of Jim and Pam, where they kiss because they're drunk and it's been coming for a really long time, in this one, they kiss and then they instantly are like, that was a bad idea, don't do anything. And then they jump straight into bed together. And it's like, you're not letting it build. You're not letting it set up. You're not letting them build this chemistry together. You're just supposed to establish that they already have chemistry together the instant that they meet. And it just doesn't work. For me, the funniest parts of this show are when they show the customers. Because anybody who's worked in retail has seen some insane stuff when it comes to customers. And this show does a fantastic job with it, and it is the funniest stuff. So they'll like have a little scene together, and then it cuts to the customers, and it's like, yeah, the staff of this grocery store probably should have caught that this is happening, but they don't. And so it just shows like a guy sitting on the toilet with his pants around his ankles, and he's reading a magazine, but it's like the store display toilet. It's not a real toilet. Or there's an episode where they're like looking for a kid and they can't find the kid, and the kid is just like playing in the middle of the aisle doing different stuff. There's an episode where they have like this snowstorm and they have to stay in the store through the night because it's whatever. And this customer shows up and is like, "Hey, you guys still open?" And they're like, "Do you even work here?" And they're like, "No, I'm stuck here too." And they're like, they just like lose their mind. They're like, "We hate you. You're a customer. Get lost." They have their Daryl-like character. He's a guy in a wheelchair. And in this episode, a customer walks in and is like, "Hey, are you guys open like normal?" And he's like, "How'd you get in here?" And he's like, "I walked through the front door." And he's like, "They plowed the parking lot?" And he was like, "Yeah, I guess so." And instead of like telling his coworkers who are still goofing off in the aisles with the toys and stuff, he just leaves. He just dips. He's like, "I'm out." He is the best character in it. Just like with Tires, if you worked in that environment, I do think the show is funnier. With this one as well. If you've worked retail, the only thing that it's missing is like the teenager who's weirdly friends with the old lady. Like that's the only thing that I think is missing from the show. That is in those kind of work environments. But if you've worked it, it's probably very funny to you. If you've worked adjacent to it like I have, it's probably pretty funny to you. If this hasn't been an environment where you've seen just absolutely insane things happening, probably is going to be a complete waste of your time, honestly.
Does it get better? I've watched the first 2 episodes and I didn't like it that much, to be honest.
Well, you haven't worked retail, so that makes...
I have.
Well, yeah, sort of. No, it doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't work for me.
So did you say this was the best Office knockoff?
It's the best best Office imposter. And I phrased it that way because there's a ton of shows that try and be The Office. You get like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and just some really great New Girl, really great shows. This one is so blatantly trying to be The Office. Like you can be like, "Hey, there's their Michael, the manager, who's quirky and weird and doesn't really know boundaries. But in Superstore, he's a religious nut who always tries to bring Jesus into everything." And instead of Angela, they have the assistant manager who's always telling him that religion doesn't belong in the workplace. Even though the, like, slogan of the store has something to do with heaven. So it's just, like, so blatantly, like, that's supposed to be Jim and Pam. That's supposed to be Daryl. Oh, look, the gay guy happens to be a minority who's supposed to be their Oscar. Oh, hey, look, there's their... Like, it is so blatantly, like, we're going to write The Office, but instead it's going to be in a supermarket.
So, would you say that Parks and Rec was like that, or no?
No, I would put Parks and Rec with the others, where they're inspired by it. There's a heavy influence there. Like, Parks and Rec was even supposed to be a sequel series originally. But still stands on its own 2 feet, because who's the Michael in Parks and Rec?
Yeah, I was trying.
Who's the Jim and Pam in Parks and Rec?
I could see them trying to make Leslie and the one guy in the first season that way.
But neither of them are Jim or Pam in that scenario.
Yeah.
Like, they're the closest, I'll give it to you, but, like, they're still their own characters. They still stand on their own. And Ron is, like, all of their characters are very heavy and very hyper-specific.
Different, yeah.
Whereas in The Office, they're kind of more like, sometimes we just need this character to be this way to progress the plot. And I never feel that way with Parks and Rec. Like, yeah, there's an influence there. Yeah, they were trying to build off of the popularity of The Office. But it still became its own thing. Like, This one,
Yeah.
I swear, is just The Office. It hits the same plot points. It goes after the same story. I would criticize it the same way I criticize How I Met Your Father and How I Met Your Mother. Is like, they try and hit those plot points, but they don't give the time necessary to build to those plot points, so they're not as heavy and they don't work as well. Same with Superstore. It's like, hey, if you're tired of watching The Office and you want something 0.0001 degrees different, watch Superstore. Because it's so freaking similar. I have watched like upwards through season 5. Like, I'm not hating it. It's just like, I think that this one will heavily depend on your experience, because to me, the funniest stuff is the stuff where it's like, oh, I remember seeing that in retail. And that's where it gets to be really, really good, is when it just is its own thing and is standing on its own. But it's unfortunate that that is never, like, plot specific. It is just something that they're doing or something that they show on screen. So,
Yeah, it's funny because like I worked in a grocery store for a couple of years as a fresh cut specialist and as a cashier, and so I feel like I have a lot of stories that I could probably
yeah, so my guess
equate
is
to that.
if you tried watching this, you would get some laughs.
Did you read it?
I'm going to give it like a 7 out of 10. I would give The Office like a 7.5. Just because there is a lot that I don't love about The Office. This is one that, like, I'm not mad that I'm watching it. I'm not going to ever rewatch it, because if I was, I would just watch The Office. But yeah, it's fine. It does have its moments. It does have its jokes. It does do its things. Sometimes it is an original show. Most of the time it's not.
Okay, sounds good. I see you added something, Conlon.
I did. I didn't. I don't like this movie. I wasn't going to talk about it because I don't like this movie, but this is the most like falsely marketed movie I have ever seen in my entire life.
What's the movie?
I heard. So it's Longlegs. Longlegs is a movie, and I was sold that this movie is like the second coming of Seven. Have you guys seen Seven? So in Seven, you have a serial killer who's going through the 7 deadly sins, and he kills people in different ways depending on the 7 deadly sins. And it has a very famous twist at the end. You guys should watch the movie. It is, Lauren, you should not watch the movie. Josh should watch the movie. It is very good. This movie is not Seven at all. I was told this is a serial killer movie. Nicolas Cage is the serial killer, and I was sold that he is the like meme of Nicolas Cage as a serial killer, where he's just like this wacky psychopath. I'm like, that sounds awesome. He's done up in so much bad makeup that you can't even really tell it's him. I had to tell my wife that was Nicolas Cage. You can't really tell that it's him. And it's not a serial killer thing. It is like a weird, messed up psychological, I don't even know. He creates these dolls and ships them to people. And the dolls act like possession items or something, and it makes the families go crazy and kill themselves. And they can't figure out who the serial killer is because they just keep killing themselves over and over again. This town is getting wiped out of people from people committing suicide over and over and over and over again, which I didn't really enjoy. And the main girl, when she was a little girl, ran into Nicolas Cage. I'm going to just spoil the crap out of this movie because I don't like this movie. She runs into Nicolas Cage when she's a little girl. Nicolas Cage targets girls that are turning a certain age on the 13th of the month, I think is what it was. And it's the same situation over and over and over again. The main girl doesn't remember this because she has had one of these possession dolls placed inside of her mind that is blocking off the memory. The main girl's mom made a deal with Nicolas Cage's character that if he would not hurt her little girl, she would deliver these dolls for him, which is just super messed up. Instead of just, I don't know, calling the police and being like, there's this creepy piece of crap dude who is talking to my little 8-year-old girl. Can we arrest this guy? No, she's like, I will deliver your possession dolls. Sure. Yay. Let's do that.
As long as it's not my girl.
As long as it's not my girl, I'll totally do that. And she just keeps doing it and doing it and doing it. And eventually our main character confronts Longlegs. She figures out who he is, remembers him, brings him in. He kills himself. She finds out that her mom is delivering these dolls to people again and again and again. And she's in the room with her mom who's delivering another doll. And she knows what's going to happen, but she just sits there and watches while the family kills themselves. And then shoots her mom after it's all said and done and walks outside after everyone is dead and is like, what happened? What have I done? And then that's the end of the movie. This movie sucks. The trailer is not accurate at all. Like, it doesn't convey what you're actually going to watch. So I show this to my wife, who doesn't like possession stuff. She hates this movie. I usually like possession stuff. I don't like this movie. There's times where it's really, really slow. I don't think the cinematography is very good. The fact that people are comparing it to Seven and being that good, you are out of your freaking mind. No. Seven is like a 9 movie. This is a 3. This is a 3. There's some good no, it's not. It's a 2. This is a 2. I don't like this movie. This movie sucks. It should have been better. Nicolas Cage is better than this. Everyone that's involved is better than this. This movie is a dumpster fire. No.
It's interesting because I don't think that Nicolas Cage belongs in thrillers or horror. Because I've seen, I think, one movie, and I didn't finish it, where it was like, it was labeled as like a dark horror, not dark horror, dark comedy horror, where like people could see him in his dreams, in their dreams or whatever, but then slowly he ended up being in everybody's nightmares. And I did not like that one either. So I wonder if, like, it sounds like that whole movie was bad. It wasn't just Nicolas Cage in it. But I feel like when Nicolas Cage does movies like that, I don't like it. They're weird.
I thought he would be... I get what you're saying. Like, what you're saying makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he'd be good. I like... Renfield is a very different movie, but he plays Dracula, and I love Renfield. I think it is an underrated movie. I love it.
That one's goofy enough that it fits for him.
Okay. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. This one didn't work. And the reason that I watched this movie, and it probably made me more critical of it, there is a couple of horror channels that review horror movies that I'll watch. And I looked up what are the most scary horror movies. And 2 of them had this movie on their top 10. You guys are out of your minds. This is not a scary movie. It's real. It's just not. Is there some creep factor to it? Sure. But it's not scary. It sucks. It's a sucky movie. But anyway, I get what you're saying with him. I haven't really seen him in another serious horror role. I don't think.
Like, I would be interested. I shy away from telling you to watch the movie that I watched. I can't remember what it's called, but if I can remember, it's like I couldn't finish it because it just made me so uncomfortable, and not in like a horror way, but in like a I don't know where they're going with this. This is super awkward. It needs to stop way. But I think it was because I thought it was a comedy, but I didn't see the dark comedy, and it seemed super interesting, and then it just got too artsy fartsy, weird, gross to me. Because I was interested to see how you want it, but then I was like, actually, no, I can't recommend that movie. But I'm sorry that
Yeah.
Longlegs wasn't what you wanted.
So disappointing. Such a disappointing movie.
Going back to all the YouTube reviews and being like, no, doesn't belong to that top 10.
I literally, on one of the reviews, I commented, which I never comment, but I was like, you lied to me! This is a terrible movie.
Well, I'm gonna change the mood from something very terrible to something really cute that I loved. So I read a fan fiction this week about Hogwarts Legacy. I'm gonna try to avoid spoilers because this fanfic does go after the events of the game Hogwarts Legacy. So I'll just talk about the stuff that I found super cute in it. So it has it has a main character who how much have you played of it, Conlon?
I'm probably like half to 60% of the way through.
Okay, so you know about like ancient magic and that stuff.
Yeah.
So in the game, I mean in the fan fiction, she kind of like refuses to use her ancient magic because she did something she thinks is traumatizing. And so she's kind of like hid it away. And then over the summer, her and Sebastian have been like seeing each other because she works at the Three Broomsticks and he keeps working in Feldcroft where him and his family lives. And so he brings deliveries to the Three Broomsticks every once in a while, and then they get to like see each other every once in a while, and they like go on these cute little dates. And like the very first chapter, like as it's like, oh, he's finally here, and she like describes how he smells and like goes into detail of like, oh, his hair's a little bit longer, oh, he's so pretty, and then like setting up that way. And this is definitely like in the tags, it's friend to lovers. And just in case anybody else wants to read this, it is on AO3. It's called In the Shadow of You by Raven Claire. And this is the only thing she's written, and I'm so sad. I went to her profile to go like read more, and this is the only thing she's written. Anyway, so back to the fanfic.
We'll put the link in the description.
Okay, yeah. It's anyway. As I was reading this, I would just like send in all caps to like Josh. I'm like, oh my gosh, these things happening. Because I was so excited. Anyway, so they go back to school and it's kind of everybody's like, oh, we noticed you're hanging out with Sebastian. She's like, no, we're just friends. Even though, like, you obviously can tell that they both like each other and they're just both, like, putting it off. And then they have Quidditch in this, and they're both, she tries out for the team, but she keeps getting, like, these migraines, like, intense migraines that, like, make her pass out, and she, like, doesn't know what's going on or why they're happening, and she's like, maybe it's because I'm not accessing my ancient magic, so she's not sure what's going on. And while she's like trying out, one of them happens while she's like in midair, and so a bludger hits her in the head because she doesn't see it coming, and she falls off her broom. And of course, who saves her but Sebastian, diving to catch her. And then there's they have a new guy from America in it. His name's Emerus, and he's kind of like the other interesting, mysterious person who has an eye for her, and Sebastian keeps getting like jealous that he's giving her attention, especially because like all of the girls in the school are thirsting over Emerus. And Emerus seems to just like be interested in her, of course. And so he Emrys asks the main girl in front of Sebastian if she wanted to go to the dance that they're having. And she's like, she had been hoping, of course, that Sebastian would ask her. And then Sebastian, like, this is a part that I text Josh, and I was like, oh my gosh, he asked her to the dance in front of Sebastian, the drama. I was fully into this. I love this.
And that is literally all she texted, so I was just like, okay. And
so then Sebastian pops up and he's like, no, she already has a date. And she gets mad because she's like, no, I didn't. Nobody has asked me. Like, that was really embarrassing for me. Why'd you do that? And then, like, he asks her later. And like they go to the dance together. It's cute. And then he like escorts her back to the she's a Ravenclaw, so he escorts her back to the tower, and then he like just like kisses her gloved hand, and I'm like, it's so cute. And then so then she's like, wait, does he like me or does he not like, what does this mean? Was he being a gentleman or does he like me? And then it like goes to him and he's like, oh my gosh, I screwed up. Should I not have kissed her hand? Was that too forward? So you're getting both sides. And then they go to potions class where they're brewing the love potion, and so it smells like whoever you're attracted to or whatever you're attracted to. And the professor like goes up to her and he's like, okay, well, what do you smell? And she's like, because she knows it's what he smells like. So she tries to make it sound like it's not him, and she just like picks out the scents that are in the potion, but he knows, like, he catches on, and he's like, and it was the same description as at the very beginning of the book, and I was like, oh my gosh. It's very sappy, very, anyway. So then she's trying to make it not a big deal, and they're like, oh, well, does anybody else want to come smell the potion? And he's like, I do. So he steps up and like looks her in the eyes as he then describes what she smells like. And I was like, oh my god! He basically said he loves her! Anyway, so this is, like, that's the type of books, if anybody wants to know what type of romance I like this. Because they don't even, like, kiss until the very end, and that, like, that's the climax. It's like, oh my gosh, they kissed! Anyway, I think, like, this hits all of the mushy-gushy, fluff stuff that I love. Stories. Yeah, and I suggest people read it if they want more Hogwarts Legacy stuff. Because I also like the story that's also not the fluff stuff. Anyway, sorry, what?
So are both the guys like good dudes? Or is it like one is kind of a complete douchebag, but he's the bad boy? And she shouldn't like him, she should like the other guy.
They're both good guys.
Okay, that's much better. I don't really like the story where it's like, this guy's obviously a dumbass. Why are you going for this guy?
Yeah, no. It's funny because, like, I was like, at some points I was like, something's gonna be off with Emrys. Something isn't right. And then it just like kept going, and I was like, I guess she just introduced a new guy to this fic. But like, ends up being more to it than that. But yeah, I was happy that it wasn't like a secret a-hole. But yeah, I like the things that like she discovers about her powers throughout this fic too, but I'm not going to go into too much depth of that because that kind of ruins Hogwarts Legacy spoilers territory.
Hey, don't spoil Hogwarts Legacy for us.
No, I won't.
Finish it first.
I know, you should. I finished it this week. It was really great. That's why I read this fanfic. But yeah, I was gushing the entire time, blushing, kicking my feet like a little girl. I liked it.
That's
Um,
awesome. I like how enthusiastic you are about this. Like I can hear it in your voice, and I've never seen you this giddy.
yeah, yeah. It like because whenever like I tell people like I love that sort of thing. Like I love a slow burn, which is that what's this is, and I don't like smut because really all you got to get me to get blushing is have him freaking kiss a gloved hand. And yeah, and I'm melted on the floor. So when like I'll tell people I like, oh, I like romance, and then everybody's like, oh, so you like smut? And I'm like, no, I don't.
Unfortunately, that's kind of taken over everything.
Yeah, so like everybody thinks that I like the fairy porn books, but I haven't read them.
The fairy porn books.
That's what my brother calls them. His wife is reading them. he's like, dude, have you listened to these fairy porn?
That is so funny. That's exactly what they are. This is so. This is such a different topic, but I find it so weird that women will suggest to other women to read these books because there's no woman who'd be like, if I was like Josh, check out this video. Everybody'd be like, what the hell is wrong with you? You're a psychopath. But women could be like, read this book, and it is so normal. I don't get it. I don't get it at
Yeah,
all.
I had somebody suggest to me one of those books, and I like started reading it, and then I got to one of those things, and I was like, no, I did not consent.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah, so I got to one of those parts, and I was like, ah, beans.
Ah, beans.
So I'm a fluff person, not a smut person. Love me a slow burn. Um, but yeah, with that, Josh said he'll link it, right? So hopefully this author will get a lot of love from everybody. Don't you dare not give them love. And with that, I think we're to our shared topic, Little Rascals.
We
Um,
are.
let's start with you, Josh.
Uh, what to say? What to say? This movie's fantastic. It's so quotable. It's adorable. It's cute. Uh, it does everything it should do. It does everything right. Um, I don't know what else to say. It's just fantastic. It's just a good time. Um, I've watched this ever since I was a little kid. Every few years I've watched it. It's one that I've like never really stopped watching. It's not really a yearly watch for me, but like every 3 to 5 years I will turn this movie back on. It is so good. I think it absolutely holds up. Well, I don't have really anything else to say about it. It's just a great time. I absolutely love it.
Okay, what's like your favorite quote?
I love when Alfalfa's singing the song to Darla. That's my favorite part of the thing. But yeah, it's
Oh,
the little hand signal that the kid gives to Whoopi. Like everything about this is just cute and a good time, and it's just fun. It's good.
all right. Well, Conlon, this is your first view, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
I love this movie. I thought this movie was gonna suck. I thought for years this movie was gonna suck. I've got $1. I've got $1. I got $1. Hey, 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 hey. It's fantastic. I rewound it and watched that 3 times. I loved it. It was so funny. Um, they put in sand in the sandwich. It was just like, I as a little boy would have done that, and that is freaking hilarious. Um, you have like it's just there's so many good moments in this. It's kind of insane. You've got the part where it switches between the girls and the boys, and the girls are like, "Why are they so different?" And it's just the boys, "Why are they so different?" And we are the what is it? The man hating woman club or the woman hating man club or something like that.
He-Man Woman Haters
He-Man
Club.
Woman Haters Club. So funny. So funny. The house starts on fire and they're like getting the buckets and then it gets to the last kid and it's like a drop on the fire.
Quick, what's the number to 911?
What? that little black kid deserves. He should still be getting residuals. It is fantastic. The amount of good acting from little kids in this show is crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really well done. And the part where he dresses up as a little girl, I literally thought they switched him with Darla. Like I literally thought it was that actress because they did such a good job of making him look like a little girl, and then he acts all like Southern, and I love it. It's fantastic. It's just a funny movie. I really liked this movie. I really liked it.
Yeah, I enjoy this movie. I'm glad that you liked it too, because when you're like, I don't know, this nigga's gonna suck, and I was like, you're gonna suck if you don't like this.
I genuinely don't know who wouldn't like this movie. It's just so likable.
Yeah.
I got a pickle. I got a pickle. I got a pickle.
Yeah. Like, I think it's funny because I think my favorite part of this is, and I always quote it all the time, is, and the heavens opened up and God said, I hate you, Alabama. Like, I feel that in such a deep personal level. So funny. Yeah, it's absolutely adorable. It's funny because I was glad this was one of our shared topics because I was like, I felt like the past couple of weeks we've had more of like not liked or heavier topics, and I was like, we need to have like happier, nice ones. So I'm glad you really liked it.
I'm shocked at how well this holds up. Genuinely. It's stupid good. It is a stupid good movie. And my wife loves the Olsen twins, and she forgot that they were in this at all. They're not in it for very much, but it's cool they were in it. It's just really good. They do the fishing pole, and they're listening to their conversation through the wire. Oh, it's so funny. It's such a funny movie. I cannot think of a reason not to give this a 9.
Can you think of a reason not to give it a 10?
That I can't give 10s. I can't do it.
You just gave out like a 3,600 earlier today.
That's not a 10.
Wow. What about a 9.9?
Is there anything? That gets into my favorite movies of all time range, though, and it's not there, but I like it a lot. You know, but I'll give it a 9.2. I'll give it a 9.2.
All right.
What would you give it, Lauren?
I'd probably give it, like, I want to give it a 10, but for the reason that I keep forgetting that Little Rascals exists, I'm gonna give it a 9.9.
Was this something before this movie came out? Like, was there a TV show or movie or something?
I don't know.
I think there was an older one.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there like a book or something?
I don't know. I was watching it and I was like,
There
This
was a
feels like
Little
something-
Rascals TV show in 1955.
Okay, this is the greatest remake, maybe of all time.
Well, you haven't seen the original. What if the original's
care.
better, Conlon?
I don't care. This is the greatest remake. There are very few. Are there any remakes that I can be like, it's this damn good? I don't know.
Somebody said if Prince of Egypt is a remake of the Ten Commandments, that's the best one. But so if you want to compare to that.
No. I would be the sucker, the lame one who likes Ten Commandments way better than that movie.
You don't like Prince of Egypt?
I like Prince of Egypt, but I think
I
Ten
don't.
Commandments is like a phenomenal movie, and Prince of Egypt is a good movie.
No, Josh, are you thinking of Prince of Egypt or what did you call it? Joseph's favorite colored coat? Or something like
I think both those movies suck. I watched both of those movies because they were like movies that have the greatest soundtracks and stories of all time. And like those two are always at the tops of those kinds of lists.
I do think that there are songs that slap from Prince of Egypt. But
I agree.
Don't. But they're like top Pixar and DreamWorks movies, or Disney and DreamWorks, or whatever the two are. And like they're always on those lists. And I'm like, these movies just suck, people. Like I'm
I
the
don't know why you think
Conlon.
they
Like
suck.
they're just terrible.
Not Joseph. Prince of Egypt. I don't like the part where they're in the desert and the songs where they're in the desert, which are some of the most famous songs of the movie.
like
But the rest of the movie I like. Yeah, I don't really like that song. But I like a lot of the rest of the movie. I like the rest of the movie. I don't like that part.
I don't like any of either of those movies.
I've never seen Joseph, the movie version.
A lot of people love it. I do not.
I can't remember how we strayed from Little Rascals, but what is your rating, Josh?
I will be the voice of reason. It's a 10 out of 10. I get that I have the same problem with it as Lauren does, but like I still have zero criticisms of this show.
Yeah.
Zero. And even though we just watched it, I could turn it on tomorrow and enjoy it just as much. And even my all-time favorites movies can't always do that. All the actors do a great job, and they're kid actors, so they should be applauded for it. The soundtrack to this movie, great. The direction of this movie, great. Like, the writing of this movie, great. Like, there is zero criticisms to be had of this movie. And, like, how many movies have we had like that, Conlon?
Very, very, very few.
Very, 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 very few, if not zero. Like, it's such a rare thing. It is a special movie.
It is.
It deserves a 10 out of 10 because it's perfect just the way it is.
And that's fair. Well, everybody, this week you should watch Little Rascals because it's a 10 out of 10 and very wholesome and very funny.
It is very, very funny. It's a very funny movie.
And I think with that wraps up our episode. And have a good week, everybody. See you
See you
next
guys.
time.